Greetings and welcome to the Prime Directive. I'm your host Jeffico, my co-host is always Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
We're going to jump into episode 3 for Discovery. Context is for kings. Chris, what did you think about this episode? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I think the show's moving in a pretty good direction after the more prologue-y pilot. I wasn't sure where we were going to go with it.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of weird stuff. I really liked starting out on that shuttle and seeing those like electric eating bugs on there. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
It was species G554.
Yeah, what's that, like a Borg designation?
Species 8472 has penetrated Matrix 010, Grid 19. 8 planets destroyed. 312 vessels disabled.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. Like, I saw it coming when the pilot just like, oh, I'm gonna have to go clean this off, shit. And it's like tether released and pilots going flying by. I'm like,
yeah, there's one pilot, just just don't say anything, just walk outside the show, you're dead.
Yeah, it was a good reaction from Staniqua just sitting there, like, everybody's like panicking. She's like,
Yeah.
whatever, this is the fate I deserve.
Panicking is not logical.
No. It was, I really like the colors and everything they used in that, and having Discovery pick them up with the tractor beam and the shot, just bringing it in.
Yep, yeah, that was a really good shot.
I don't think
the Discovery there.
Yeah, I loved going alongside of it. I mean, there's going to be a lot of angles that still won't look good, but this is our finished product. This is what we're getting, so it's time to get over it. I mean, even the Titan has angles I don't like, and I love the Titan, so.
That's fair enough, but I don't think, I think Discovery looked great in this episode. I don't think we saw anything on the Discovery or the Glenn that looked weird.
I do like, even though they kind of hint that it's more than it, but they were saying this is a science vessel, brand new spanking science vessel.
Yes, yeah, they went out of their way to say that specifically, like no scratches on the hulls. What the hell is this thing doing if it's not in the war?
Science vessel. It's a warship. If we're gonna win this thing, we have one chance to get it right.
Yeah, what's up with Landry? What's her issue? I mean,
yes.
Chief of Security, she's like, oh, we gotta feed the animals. Oh, here's the new garbage. Like,
yeah,
this is not your typical Starfleet officer.
Oh my god, the rod up her butt has a rod up its butt.
Yeah, no, and then
she fits in real well with your space boyfriend there, though.
Yeah, well, we'll get to Lorca. Don't worry. I got a whole tribute with the Lorca with just a big heart around it.
Yeah.
I did enjoy watching Burnham beat the crap out of those two that attacked her. I don't know why the third guy didn't join in. But,
Of our conflict.
Did it one-armed, and then Landry's just like, Vulcan martial arts, they should stick to logic.
Well, yeah, because she did it one-armed, and she didn't even give him, like, the two-hand punch, so obviously...
Yeah.
Like, what are you... Does that even work?
Landry's like, you're not even, like, optimizing both your arms in a punch. Like, you're doing it wrong. Starfleet has trained us.
Yes.
Then we head into Lorca's office. He's got a fortune cookie business he used to do on the side.
Yeah, and he's keeping a triple next to an open food source.
Yeah, and I'm not sure.
Great.
That's not a good idea.
I don't know quite what I think about the triple. I assume we're going to be hearing more about it. I guess it's probably fixed, so it doesn't breed.
Or...
Mr. Barris, they like you. Well, there's no accounting for taste. They don't like you, Mr. Darvin. I wonder why.
He names them after the people he's killed.
So, Chris, what do you think about Lorca's eyes? I mean, they were all starry, I assume, because of reflection, but seems to have some condition where if he doesn't, like, gradually let light into them, he'll lose his eyes. I can already see him sitting there with no eyes.
Oh my god. What happened to your eyes? Where we're going, we won't need eyes to see.
I think it's sort of implied that was from the war, just this war. All he said was that it was a recent injury.
Yeah.
I guess it's sort of it might have been something to do with the space fungus, but I guess it also could have been battle with the Klingons. I like that he has a medical condition where he just has to be menacing all the time.
Yes.
but that's also the lamest reason to be menacing. It's like, oh man, why are you so intimidating? I'm like, I have a medical condition where I have to be intimidating and menacing.
Yeah.
If I don't, I lose my eyes.
Captain, how you doing today? Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. It's just dark in here.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I'm wondering if this is the same thing that affected the jury from the end of the second episode. Is this a thing?
Yeah.
Is this just everyone in Section 31?
It has happened.
This issue?
Yeah. No, we turned on the lights in here, but we have a condition.
Yeah, we have to be menacing.
Am I going to prison?
No, you're good.
You're good.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't be intimidated.
Yeah, we just have our eye problems. And I've jumped ahead of myself a bit. I already said it, but let's talk about those black comm badges.
Yeah, those are not regular Starfleet issued comm badges.
No, those are not regulation, and that definitely jumped out at me as just really establishing that there's something going on Discovery here.
Is there anything legal going on in Discovery? Is my question.
Zero legal things.
It's a very mysterious ship.
Yeah, a lot of people are putting forward that this might be a Section 31 ship. Maybe not like entirely their ship, but they're working for Section 31 missions and that sort of thing.
That seems a bit too early for me, but you're entitled to your own opinion.
I mean, I think it's fairly compelling theory. I'm not sure who else would be giving out black comm badges, even though that is a bit...
Section 31 is a secret organization.
It is a bit
but
out
here's
in the
a comm badge.
It is a bit out in the open for Section 31. But it was a really cool, just little thing to have in there. And I would also point out that the registry number of the Discovery is 1031. Oh my god.
Well, I don't see how section is a 10. So, your added numbers throw your theory off to me.
Yeah.
But hey, nice to see Saru back, eh?
Yes. Yeah. Doug Jones is definitely standing out as probably my favorite actor in Saru. Maybe my favorite character so far.
Bit of a chicken shit though, because I mean, his little fear neck thing when the shuttle was leaving, I'm like, relax, dude.
It's threat ganglia.
Yeah, it was a bit odd, but
well, those were coming out because like Burnham's still on board.
Yeah. Is she behind me? Shit. We got to meet Cadet Tilly. I felt she rambles way more than Nelix.
A lot of people had a pretty positive reaction to her. I think the fan reaction to Tilly has been pretty good. Yeah,
I wasn't as bothered by her, but I feel like the dread of every episode having her do this
have to keep
is
doing
too
this.
much.
Well, I think she is pretty obviously gonna keep getting better and more comfortable with herself as the series goes on. That seems like a really easy character growth thing for them to do. And certainly in this long-form storytelling, they're going to be looking for a lot of character growth and development.
Chris, how about the black alert? I mean, it's not red, yellow, it's not even green.
Yeah, the last time we saw a new alert was Voyager, so we had a blue alert when it landed. But yeah, black alert definitely jumped out at me. I was like, we don't have that. That's not a thing.
That's when all the weird shit starts going down on the ship.
Yeah.
And, Tilly won't even tell Burnham what's going on. I'm sorry, but it looks like matter is like falling apart.
Yes.
And you're not going to tell this person.
I take a bit of an issue with that. Like that is like just a cheap way to build suspense. Is everyone else knows what's going on, but we're not going to tell you.
Well, if you don't like that, then you couldn't like this episode, because this whole episode was like, you're going to have to learn every little thing, Burnham, because we're not going to tell you.
I want to learn every little thing, but they could just like let her know what she's working on. Maybe build suspense some other way, but I mean, it's not like that's going to be the whole show. Like, Lorca more or less gave her everything by the end of the episode.
So we get to meet Stamets, and I really enjoyed his line, like, "Oh, go take a position. There's not assigned seating."
Yeah, that was a cute little joke. Sort of liking this character, what we got to learn about him. He was just like doing it purely for the science, and when the war comes down, Lorca just sort of takes him, splits him up with his buddy, is turning this into almost like weaponized thing. And him and Lorca do not seem to get along very well at all.
Well, I'm going to cut you off there, Chris, because Lorca did not split him and his friend up. That was Starfleet, so you don't put extra blame on my Lorca.
Was that Starfleet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Starfleet.
All right. Well, Starfleet split him up, and he's definitely got reason to not be a fan of Burnham there.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like how much lip Lorca and Stamets are giving each other, just because they both know they're essentially untouchable.
Yeah,
Like, Lorca can't do shit to Stamets. Like, he needs him for this research.
You say that, but Lorca's gonna snap, hold his head over the warp core, and just kill him.
I wonder how patriotic you'd be if I offered you the chance to walk out of here alive. Do your worst. I always do.
I enjoyed the little comment there when he's talking to our Kelpian.
Yes.
It's just this like, he knows the smartest person, and he knows you. Like,
yeah, that was a good little burn.
Even Stamets calls him a warmonger in front of his security chief, who I think is secretly his lover.
I don't even. I think that's strongly implied that they've got something going on.
Yeah, well, she's too loyal.
Yeah.
So, Chris, we were assuming we weren't going to get any sister ships because the budget was so much bigger, but bam!
Yeah,
here's a sister ship.
We actually went out and said that, I think, in an episode, and it was just like, well, we don't have to have the budget saving sister ship anymore.
Yeah, well, at least this was for story reasons. You know,
Yeah.
USS Glenn, very similar ship.
Yeah, doing the same
stuff.
research.
Yeah. This is where the episode really took a turn for a horror movie. I think.
Yeah, some of that stuff was pretty graphic, like the guy with his face all over the place.
Yeah, their bodies were like stretched and like pulled apart and like, rebundled.
Yeah.
It's a bad side effect to the way they travel now with space mushrooms. Yeah. I liked all the Klingons being there. I thought that was like, there's something you get in war where it's just like, even DS9, we had our solo episodes, but there was still the hint of the war still going on.
Yeah, except for when they stopped the war and just played baseball for a week.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we all got to take a break.
There was still death to the opposition, though.
Yes, yeah.
I love the Klingon coming out going...
I really did like that scene, but I'm super impressed that he knows, about the human thing of shush.
Did he just shush us?
Maybe it's universal, maybe every species.
Well, weren't you saying warriors are well trained?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it makes sense to be aware of the culture of your enemy.
Yeah.
Sure.
He'd know the hand gestures.
No, we're making way more of a deal about that than it should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good scene.
Well, I mean, here you got Burnham that sees this thing run by that's huge, and she doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then, later we get attacked with this giant, like, strange monster cat thing.
A lot of people think it's a water bear or a tardigrade, I believe they're also called, which are just tiny little microscopic animals that are more or less indestructible. They're like radiation proof and all that good stuff.
Well, it didn't look tiny, Chris. It looked ginormous.
It did look ginormous, so what up with that?
Maybe they picked it up on one of their 90,000 light year trips that they can do in 1.3 seconds.
Yeah, Voyager wishes they had that.
Yeah, well, they could go warp 10 at least.
Yeah.
Lizard speed.
Yeah, that had small lizards.
Yeah.
Not big ones.
Well, maybe that was a crew member. Maybe they de-evolved into that.
Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah. I did enjoy Burnham doing her little Alice in Wonderland thing to keep calm.
I actually did like that scene for a couple reasons. Number one is sort of an interesting take in her look at her mental state. You get the impression that she's sort of doing this to remain calm. And of course the stuff she's actually saying has a bit of relevance to what's going on, going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. She's literally crawling through Jeffrey's tubes. And at this point we are sort of scraping the barrel for trying to find things that make this feel like older Trek. Like we've got all the names and places and we've got warp speed and phasers or whatever, but we're sort of looking for the philosophy of Star Trek in here somewhere. And it's still early. I'm considering this the pilot episode and the previous two to be prologues, but it was nice to just have some classic literature. I'm used to people just yelling Shakespeare at each other, but I'll take Alice in Wonderland.
Well, yeah, it was a nice little connection. Her saying that her foster mother read it to the son, and we get a little Amanda Spock kind of reference there.
Yeah, and I think I believe it was in the animated series. I could be wrong there, but Spock does mention his mother's fondness for Lewis Carroll.
Yeah, that was a nice little connection.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say though, and I love Burnham going, oh shit, that worked. And then she had to run off from the thing, but
yes.
She stops to like communicate with Rapp. Like, I would have been through those tunnels way faster than her with that thing chasing me. Like, she knew how fast it was going clearly, because I would have busted my ass a lot more.
Yeah.
Once we get back to the ship, I mean, we get that nice line from Saru. Like, you were always a good officer until you weren't.
Yeah, that goes right back to what we were talking about in the last review, where they keep telling us that she's been a good Starfleet officer for 7 years.
Yeah.
And then not really showing it.
Yeah, no, they're literally telling her.
Yeah. Remember when you were good?
Yeah.
We're not going to show it, but...
she's the smartest person I know. She was always a good officer. Right now, don't trust anything she does. She's dangerous.
Yeah. My spidey sense, ganglia.
Yeah. I did like the whole dynamic between her and Lorca's conversation, where she's just like, oh, he's developing a weapon, I don't trust him. And he's just like, well, let's site-to-site transport and I'll show you what we're doing.
Yeah.
Captain, what am I doing on this ship?
I have something on deck that requires every trained mind available.
So Chris, what did you think about Lorca's new way to fly?
That's not usually how I fly on mushrooms, but I'm willing to give it a look.
So the actual way of like traveling from spot to spot that quickly, like that would be quite the advantage in a war.
Mm-hmm. Was I the only one getting, sort of shades of the Iconian transport device when he was
when she was in there, that's definitely what I was seeing.
Yeah, just swiping through all the different Windows screensavers. It's a lot like what they were doing in TNG with that.
It kind of makes me think more than just a villain when it comes to Lorca, when he's just talking about like, okay, yeah, we need this to win the war, but then after, who knows? Like, maybe he's an explorer too. Like,
I mean, every good villain, we don't even know if Lorca's going to be a villain or more of an anti-hero, is the hero of their own story, and Lorca certainly has the right motivations for that. Yeah,
well, I mean, that secret office of his, whether it's secret or not, it's pretty sketchy supervillain hideout. There's some interesting things in there. Didn't you say there's like a Cardassian bowls and
Yeah, there was the Gorn skeleton in his little chamber of horrors there.
I wonder if he skinned it alive.
Probably.
Well, I really enjoyed the quote they used in the title, Chris. The universal laws for lackeys.
Context is for kings.
Yeah, it made film. The light should have been dark again on Lorca just for that line.
Yes.
I don't understand why they destroyed the Glen. Mm-hmm. Like, it didn't look like it was beyond repair. I imagine regular warp would still work on it, and if they still needed to tow it or something, still valuable ship, brand new. War, come on, people. We're at war. Well, every ship is important.
I guess we don't totally know what the consequences are of a catastrophic mushroom failure.
Yeah.
Maybe it just was beyond salvaging for some reason, or it's just that important that none of the research gets out.
Yeah. I wonder what weaponry they were using there, because it was 2 shots and done.
Yeah.
I know shields were down, but you know what? Shields are going to be down on the Discovery at some point. So if 2 shots and done, then there's something to worry about.
Yeah. Just getting back to the title point, like they've name dropped every single title so far, like in the show. So I'm really interested to see how they're going to do it for the next one. We've got this like beautiful sort of TOS-esque title. The Butcher's Knife Cares Not for the Lamb's Cry. And so obviously that's Lorca's line.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to end up saying all these lines.
Yeah.
We're following Burnham around mostly, so we're not really seeing a lot of these characters on their own. But I would like to see a solo episode of Lorca, and it could just be titled what was being said. He does not fear what normal men fear.
Yeah. Well, I hope as this goes on, we'll have episodes that focus on different characters.
Yeah. It would be helpful. I mean, we got to find out who Lorca's lover is. Is it Landry? It seems like it.
Yep.
I saw Emily Coots, and what's up with that little head thing she's wearing?
Yeah, so she's got some sort of nasty scarring from the binary stars there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like... I was thinking like, oh, is that going to be like a visor-like thing where it's going to help or have some advantage for tech? Yep. But I don't see anything yet.
Nope. I think she's just going to be a little disfigured.
Yeah, and she sure doesn't like Burnham. All in all, I was pretty entertained by this episode. I thought there was a lot of cool things to it. We finally got to learn a lot, like how the new way to fly. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed seeing a lot of these new characters, but I did feel the episode was rushed. I mean, I thought we could have done an entire episode on a USS Glenn, just because like it was like half a horror episode and then back to Discovery. But I thought they could have done more there. I would have liked to have seen the horror and the suspense build rather than just have it just quick flash run through. But I think they're just trying to dump so much in these episodes to keep regular viewers entertained that aren't usual Trek fans that don't mind a slow burn.
Yep. All in all, I think this episode was definitely an improvement on the first two. I think, I know you said it was rushed, but we have sort of slowed down a bit, and we're focusing more on just this crew and what's going on there. And it definitely left me wanting more. I'm excited for next week's episode too.
Well, Chris, I think they did a lot for Lorca in this one. Really developed him. I'm looking forward to seeing more. Hopefully he's not just 100% evil.
Yeah, I think we touched on, he does seem to have some, I don't want to say noble, but just reasonable goals he's trying to get to.
Yeah, he wants everybody to go home safe.
Yep.
I really thought the acting level in that room when we first saw him, just rose. Here's a TV movie actor.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be nice to have, a big name experienced actor on set for this. He can really steal some scenes.
Yeah, that's the thing with these shows now. You can bring bigger names into television and not as afraid to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's our review for episode 3. We'll do episode 4 next week.
See ya.
See you later.